Circulating commemorative coins, the favorite coins I like talking about here on the Big D Coins channel. So that's what we're going to talk about today. As you can see, we've got some coins that have two dates on them. We see 1867 to 1967 on this penny right here. These are all the same type of pennies. As well as in the background, we've got a banknote, a $1 note, that's also dated 1867 to 1967. So you might be wondering, what was the occasion in 1967? Well, it was the 100th anniversary of Canada. So they came out with a commemorative $1 banknote as well as some commemorative 1-cent coins. Now, interestingly, these coins, the pennies, were later removed from circulation altogether, as well as the $1 banknotes themselves. So the pennies were rounded up to the nearest 5 cents, and the $1 banknotes were replaced with these right here, known as the loonie dollar coins, because they've got a nice loon on the back. Let's remove these out of the picture, and we'll focus on one of these coins right here. Let me get it into the center. Now, I've come across all of these commemorative issue coins right here, for the pennies at least, through coin roll hunting. I live in Maine, so pretty close to Canada. Come across probably, I would say, about 12 to 15 Canadian 1-cent pennies per box that I go through. So they're relatively common for me, but you guys from other parts of the country might not have seen these before. So this is a commemorative coin. The mintages on this one are pretty high, so it's relatively reasonable that you could come across them. There are 345 million of these produced. They are going to have to be in great condition for them to be worth more than face value. Now, as you can see, mine's a little scratched up right here, so not going to be worth more than face value. However, it does have a lot of copper in it, so some people are into hoarding copper. This coin is 98% copper. It has a weight of 3.24 grams in total. So 1 Canadian cent right now translates to about 0.78 United States cents. So if you're going to hold on to these, it's likely for the copper. And that is the same reason that the Canadian Mint no longer makes the penny. It cost about 1.6 cents for every 1-cent coin that they produced. So in May 2012, they stopped production of the penny. They ceased distributing the coins in February 4th, 2013. However, like all discontinued currencies, the Canadian monetary system still allows these pennies to be used as legal tender. Once distribution of the coin ceased, though, vendors were no longer expected to return pennies as change for cash purchases. Cash purchases were rounded to the nearest 5 cents. Non-cash transactions were still denominated to the cent. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I can understand most of us use credit cards now anyway, so might as well keep those as exact as possible. Doesn't matter what we round those to, but might as well save the Canadian government some money by just rounding the cash transactions to the closest 5 cents. Now, you can still bring these in and pay for things with them. However, people aren't expected to return these back to you. Now, the other one I have here is this banknote. So this banknote dated 1867 to 1967. So let's talk a little bit about that. In honor of the 100th anniversary of the Canadian Confederation, a modified version of the 1954 $1 banknote was issued, bearing the date 1967. The Centennial logo was added to the front of the note in a view of Canadians' original Parliament building. So the Canadian Centennial logo is this one right here. So you'll see that they created their own logo for the Centennial celebration. It was a year-long celebration, so might as well create your own logo for it. So that's the Centennial logo, and this banknote is kind of the traditional. Most of the images on this banknote are the traditional 1954 $1 banknote. On the reverse of the banknote, I'll zoom out so you can see a little bit more detail. So that's Canada's original Parliament building. I'm adjusting the light to hopefully help you out a little bit. There we go. That's slightly better. We see Canada's original Parliament building, so we see that at the bottom right here. Unfortunately, that was destroyed by a fire back in 1916, but it's cool that they're commemorating that on the reverse of this 100th anniversary bill. So we also see a feature of 1867 to 1967 right at the top here. Now, similar to the penny, the $1 banknote ceased production as well. Interestingly, the $1 banknote stopped before the one penny did. Printing of the $1 note ceased in 1989 after release of the loonie in 1987. So I've got some 1989 loonies right here. I'm going to remove these so to hopefully get you a better lighting. That should work. So the loonie coin right here, released in 1987, so they stopped producing the $1 note in 1989. So that's the kind of the key difference from the success of the loonie coin from Canada versus the United States. The United States repeatedly keeps introducing these $1 coins. However, they still produce the banknote as well, so people haven't really adopted to it because they just keep using the banknote rather than switching over to the dollar coin. Notes, now the $1 notes are virtually never seen anymore in circulation. The most recent banknote series included the $1 note, was the Scenes of Canada banknotes, with the $1 note released in 1974, colored green and black. So all of them feature a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, kind of similar to how the one penny coins and all the other coins that Canada produces do. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this video. We got a nice look at some Canadian circulating coins for their 100th anniversary, their centennial anniversary as a country. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you're into Canadian coins or coins from the United States or coins from anywhere else in the world, please do check out some of the other videos on this channel. Thank you very much, and best of luck coin collecting out there, everyone. Enjoy!